Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening live every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm Leslie Klein, and I host this live stream every week. I also have a Good Vibes TV channel on YouTube where everything is. You can find all of my offerings, whether it's this live stream, the replays from this live stream, or interviews I've done, or the Good Vibes Summit. It's all there. The other place you could look is good-vibes.tv, which is the website, and it's a link tree that has all the buttons for all the different offerings I have. So I'm so glad that you're with me today, and I'm so grateful to be here myself. It is December 12th, 12/12, which is a big deal. It is a portal. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but I do want to talk about the Good Vibes Lifestyle movement. Um, this is a movement to help people to be aware of their energy, to be aware of where you're vibrating on the scale from fear to love. And why is this important? Well, we create our reality and we live in an energetic world. We are energetic beings. And when we start, as we come into this age of Aquarius, it's a new era, a new 2000, over 2000 years of the age of Aquarius, which is Aquarius is the air element. It has to do with technology. It has to do with humanitarianism. It has to do with being eccentric and unique and having authenticity. But it's also having to do with communication and, like I said before already, technology, AI, ETs, even. So it's a very exciting era that we're coming into. And I'm here to help you make that transition and to help you uh, access all the tools that you have, all the talents that you have to encourage you to find those talents and develop them, grow them, so that you can be your authentic self, so that you could live your best life. So I am streaming to several Facebook pages in Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So anywhere where you're watching me, you can actually comment. I can put your comments on the screen. So ask me questions, comment as you will. I'm so glad to have the interaction with you. So let's talk about the astrology. I always like to start with the astrology because the astrology, it's very ancient science and art of understanding the cosmic energies. Each of the planets have a certain energetic signature. Each of the constellations and signs also have different elements. And our astrological wheel has 12 signs on it. So the number 12 is very important, and we'll be talking about that in just a minute. So, the big news is that we are still in the waxing phase of the moon. This is where the moon is growing from the new moon to the full moon. The new moon was on December 1st, but we have a full moon happening this Sunday on December 15th in the sign of Gemini at 4:01 a.m. Eastern Time. So, full moons are excellent times where we can the full moon amplifies, right? It grows energy. So depending on what energy you're at, what energy state you're at, that's going to be amplified. So if we know this, we can um, consciously choose, what am I focusing on, especially during this full moon energy. And the full moon energy, actually, we feel it 2 days before and 2 days after. So if there's a ritual or intention or meditation that you want to do on the full moon, and for some reason you can't exactly do it on the full moon, you can do it 2 days before and 2 days after. It still has the same impact. Again, everything is intention as well. So this is what's going on with the full moon. And we're also in a, oh, and I forgot to put that little graphic up. So, yes, we're in the full moon, but we also have Mercury still retrograde. So, Mercury went retrograde November 26th, right before Thanksgiving. And it goes direct on December 15th as well, when the full moon is happening. So, Mercury goes direct at 3:56 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're one, and okay, the reason we talk about Mercury retrogrades is because Mercury goes retrograde about 3 to 4 times a year, and it lasts for about 3 weeks. Mercury is a sign or the planet that rules communication, travel, um, computers, and these kind of things. So, contracts. So, when Mercury is retrograde, it appears from the Earth that it's going backwards, but it's really not going backwards physically. It just looks like it is. Just like when you're in a car and you're next to a car and that car starts to move and you think you're moving, it's that kind of effect. So, Mercury retrograde, it appears like it's going backwards, and it actually has the energetic impact on us that communications get messed up, miscommunications happen, weak links show up. So if something, if a tire is ready to blow, and you're nursing this tire, more than likely it's gonna blow during a Mercury retrograde. So all the little weak links show up. So the way to use this energy is kind of like a time to backpedal instead of moving forward with projects. Find those back burner projects, tie up those loose ends. It gives you that time to kind of go within and listen to your own internal communication. And then use that. It's also a great time, Mercury, to do anything with re in it, renovate, reinvest, refinance, um, um, reevaluate, research, any of those things. So anything with re in it, it's a great time to do that. And we still have a few days until Sunday to work with this Mercury retrograde energy. Although there is a Mercury retrograde shadow. So 7 to 10 days before the Mercury goes retrograde and 7 to 10 days after it goes direct, there's still the vestiges, the energy of the Mercury retrograde. So just beware of that. Things aren't always smooth sailing as soon as you hit the Mercury direct. But if you were needing or wanting to sign any kind of paperwork or transactions or contracts, it's always best to do it when Mercury goes direct. So that's why I note the time, 3:56 p.m. So it's better to sign things at that time or later. So then you're outside of that Mercury retrograde. What happens if you do sign something or buy something new or do something new during a Mercury retrograde? Well, from my experience and what I've also researched and read, um, uh, problems happen. For instance, my mother bought a washing machine or something during Mercury retrograde. Well, they delivered to her and it was dented, so it had to be returned. Another reword. Um, we've had situations where we had to travel. Sometimes life goes on. You can't just stop everything just because it's Mercury retrograde. It's just more of a being aware of the energy so that you can work with it. So if problems do happen, you understand that, oh, this isn't something that I necessarily caused. This is just the nature of the energy that we're in. So in travel, if you're traveling during a Mercury retrograde, a lot of times there'll be delays or change flights and things like that. But if you have a positive intention behind it, you can always kind of tweak the energy or uh, uh, or influence the energy to go more for you as opposed to working against you. So like if you get frustrated and stuff, you're kind of you're locking yourself up and preventing the energy from being in the flow of energy. If you're more relaxing, accepting of, okay, it's Mercury retrograde, no big deal. What can how can I work with this energy versus that, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. You'll have different experiences with the Mercury retrograde energy, depending on how you react to it, how you choose to respond to it. So, I was traveling once with my mother, and it was during Mercury retrograde, and we ended up having to change flights. Well, it ended up that it worked to our benefit that we got to the place we were going a lot quicker and smoother and faster. So it worked out. So again, it's your attitude, your energy, your expectation, even if you really believe that everything always works out for me, which it does, um, then things work out with you. If you believe, oh, the world's against me, my life sucks, whatever, complaining and negative energy like that, and let me cancel all that. That was just for illustrative purposes. When you're saying those kind of words or having that kind of attitude or mental, belief system, you're going to create that in your world because no matter what. you say, you're right. Okay? Whatever you say, you are right. Whatever we put out there will manifest. So we have to be really careful of not just our thoughts, but what we say, what we speak. And that's why I'm real careful too when people joke around and say something negative, joking around or put themselves down or whatever. I don't like that kind of joking around because it's even though you're joking, your subconscious mind and the universe don't necessarily know that you're joking. So that you may manifest those things that you really don't want to. That's why words are so important. Our thoughts are so important. Our words are so important. So just be aware of that during the Mercury retrograde. So that's all I have to say about that. And let me ask you, do you have any Mercury retrograde stories where something kind of went awry and then you realized it was a Mercury retrograde? Or did you plan to do certain things during retrograde? So, like for instance, if there's a contract that you really don't want to sign or you're not really sure about it and you do it during a Mercury retrograde, good chance it's going to end up redoing it, and that's why you try not to sign things or start things new during a Mercury retrograde because you end up ultimately redoing it more than likely. So that's those are the tips there for that. But let's talk about this 1212 portal. So it's December 12th, of course, of 2024. But every year we have a 1212 portal. So when, numbers are energy, in numerology, we have the basic numbers from 1 to 9, and each of the numbers have a certain energy. And then when you get into 12, or the next octaves, right, it's 10 to 20, 20 to 30, the double digits are just kind of extensions of what those first 9 numbers represent. Also in numerology, when you have 2 digits, usually um, add them up, and that number that you come to is the energy of that particular number or energy. But with the 1212 portal, whenever we see 1111, 1212, 1010, any of these double numbers, it's kind of like a double impact of that number. So 12 represents completion, it represents harmony, and it also represents spiritual fulfillment. So when it's a 1212 portal, this is a very special day energetically based on the numbers to do certain kind of rituals or meditations, or just kind of like someone described it as a spiritual checkpoint to kind of see where you are or touch base with spirit or with your higher consciousness. So it's always great to do a like a ritual or a special meditation. And I found one from YouTube, the YouTube channel Quantum Yogi Wisdom, and they had a special 1212 portal ritual that was very simple, and I wanted to share that with you. And I also have another link to a meditation and ritual for the 1212 portal. Now, if you really want to uh, do really use the 1212 energy, you could always do it at 1212 a.m. or 1212 p.m. the day of 1212 to really kind of have that impact, but it's not necessary. And so let me go over some of the parts of this ritual. So the first part of the ritual would be to, for 5 minutes, do some conscious breathing. Do a conscious breathing meditation, meaning you're conscious of breathing in and breathing out. There are many different techniques you can use, whether you count in for 5 beats and count out for 5 beats, make it equal. Sometimes some people say that if your exhale is longer than your inhale, that's better, and that helps put you into the parasympathetic system. Um, you could do the 4-part breath or the box breathing, where you count to 4 in, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4 beats, and then pause for 4 beats before you inhale again. That's what's the box breathing. But whatever conscious breathing technique that you prefer for meditation, do that for 5 minutes to help you kind of get into the right frame of mind and state of being. The second part of this is to write down 12 things that you are genuinely grateful for, and really feel these things as you're writing them down. It's really important, when we're taking our thoughts and putting them on a paper. We're manifesting, we're making, we're putting it into the physical world. So writing things down and journaling, very important in the manifestation process. So write down 12 things you're grateful for. And the third step is to write down 12 things that you want to manifest in the next 12 months. So this is a great time to do this because we're getting ready for the new year. 2025 is going to be an interesting year. And as we move more and more into the age of Aquarius, things are going to move faster. Things are going to move faster. Communication's going to be faster. We've got AI, which is computing and creating things faster and helping us to do everything faster. So again, Aquarius is an air element. So when we have that air element so much up here in our head, it's very important to be grounded in our bodies and grounded on the earth, to kind of to ground it, to secure it. Otherwise we're just all over the place, thinking and kind of like a balloon just jumping all over the place, being carried by the winds. But you want to take that balloon, you want to take this, the string of the balloon and tie it to something so it stays more, in place, kind of. And that's kind of the thing with grounding yourself, especially when you're too much in your head. So write down the 12 things you want to manifest in the next 12 months of the year of 2025. Great time today to really meditate and go within and really, ask yourself the question, what would really make my heart sing? What are the projects and the things that I really want to create in 2025? So, and when you write these things down, write them as if they're already done in the present tense. And also, you want to have it more of a positive aspect. So, if you're not sure on how to write down affirmations, there's plenty. Just Google it. How to write the best affirmation. There's certain things that you want to have in it, and that would be like in the present tense and positive language, as opposed, to negative language. So those are the three steps to doing this 12-12 portal ritual that I would recommend doing today. And you still have energy. If you don't do it today, you have till now, really till the full moon, I would say, to work with this energy and fine tune your list. If you're not 100% sure, just because you write it down one time, don't be afraid to write things down because you're afraid that, oh my God, then I'm locked in. You can always change it. You can always erase it. You could always rewrite it. And we have this full moon energy that we're building up to on Sunday to also work with this energy. So I want to give you a tiny URL. This is a meditation. It's www.tinyurl.com/capital GVTV, then 1212 meditation. And this will take you to a website where this lady, and I apologize, I didn't write down her name. I lost it. But anyway, she has a great meditation, uh, 1212 meditation and ritual that she recommends. And her ritual is a little bit different. It's similar to what I just told you, but it's a little bit different. But it's also, there's a meditation there too. So if you like guided meditations, this is a great uh, YouTube channel to check out. This is a great video to check out. Um, so there you have it. And I will put it in the description as well. All right. So let's talk about meditation a little bit more. Um, at the Good Vibes Day Summit on October 30th, we did a group meditation using the Global Coherence app by the Heart Math Institute. So I'm encouraged, we did the meditation that day, but I want to keep it going. So I've been encouraging everyone and doing it myself to meditate every Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern time for just 15 minutes. And I'm requesting that you use the app, because if you use the app, then it records the coherence that you're bringing and the group is bringing to the field of the planet. So the best way, if you don't have the Global Coherence app, and it is a free app, you just want to download it by going to your Play Store on Android or iPhone and just type in Global Coherence and you'll see the app there. And then to join the group, you'll see a little button that says Join Group. Just put in Orange Fire 66 with the O and the F capitalized, and that'll get you into the Summit group. So that's where you want to go, join up. every Sunday just before 2 and just for 15 minutes do a meditation. The reason I'm doing it on Sundays is because I'm dovetailing with astrologer Pam Gregory's suggestion to do a 15 meditation every Sunday. She's actually expanded that if you want to do it any day of the week or every day of the week at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which it would be whatever time it is in your time zone, um, and just do that. So I've been doing that as I'm able to based on my schedule. But so this is a great time where we can collectively meditate together because, with synergy, you know, when we come together, we are greater than just the sum of our parts. So it's, as we do this collectively and as hundreds and thousands of people are doing it at the same time, it is more powerful. So, and groups and communities are going to be very, very big and important in the age of Aquarius, which we're in. So we are here. Okay. So, if you like to do a little bit, I like, and when I do the group meditations, I kind of see them as spiritual activism, right? I like to be an activist. I like to, uh, to do things in society to help make a good change or a better change. And so we can do this physically by calling congressmen and this kind of thing, but we can also do it spiritually by doing group meditations. And, no one can control us, right? There is nobody that can control whether you meditate or not, right? This is a power we have, and I'm encouraging us all to use it. So, in speaking of spiritual activism, I've been involved with this Citizens for Disclosure group, which is part of the New Paradigm Institute. And I'm actually doing a show that will be coming out this Sunday, probably by 6 o'clock p.m. It'll premiere on the YouTube channel. I interviewed Craig Richards, who is the North Carolina leader of the Citizens for Disclosure in the state of North Carolina. So each state has its own Citizens for Disclosure group that you can join and become part of to talk about and to discuss and influence our government in providing disclosure. We've got some crazy stuff happening right now with these drones appearing in New Jersey at night for some reason. New Jersey, New York, Ohio, the West Coast, Japan, all over the world have been sightings of these drones at night, especially over military installations or where there's nuclear power and this kind of thing. And so our government, at least they're telling us that they don't know what it is. There are some of these ufologists that have said that these drones are actually ETs in disguise. So I'm not sure, but they say that it's not a threat. And I don't see our ET star family as a threat, but I feel like, humans have been the threat to them, shooting down the ETs, getting their bodies, taking their technology, reverse engineering it for the war machine to create missiles, to create death and destruction, not for the benefit of humanity. So this is why the citizens, along with others like Danny Sheehan, who is the lead counsel and president of the New Paradigm Institute, and also others like Dr. Stephen Greer, who's been on this since 1993. He knew about the ETs and disclosure and how the shadow government has been using this technology not for good causes. So with that in mind, Dr. Stephen Greer has done, I think this might be his 5th movie. He's done these documentaries about this subject of UFO disclosure. And just 2 days ago, he released the movie called Battle for Disclosure. So I do have a clip from this movie that I will share with you. And here it is.
That at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
These are brand new witnesses, and they've got bombshell information to talk about.
These technologies are unsanctioned. They are illegal operations, and this can be proven in any court of law.
The it's like, wow, nobody's coming after us. We're going to do this until we can get away with it.
They would have so much control over everything if they had that.
If this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands.
They're using security as a cover for illicit or illegal or even treasonous activities.
The members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location.
Where they keep the bodies, the craft, the debris, all the evidence that we've been searching for the last 80 years.
He knew how to keep a secret. Secrets were his stock and trade.
They're literally making their own money to fund their own projects.
We have a source currently in the deep black world.
It doesn't matter if you're president of the United States, you're not going to talk about that.
There was this large monolithic slab. Looked like it was elevated off of the ground.
It is traumatic.
Look, this is the most top secret shit you've ever heard of.
So that movie is out, and I have a link. You can actually go to Dr. Stephen Greer's website if you want to know more about him. He also has an archive on there with terabytes and terabytes of information of different information that whistleblowers have brought to him over the years that you can check out. But if you want to either buy the movie or rent the movie on Amazon, you could do it on Amazon Prime Video. And I have a tiny URL. tinyurl.com/capital GVTV disclosure movie. And that'll take you to my Amazon store where you can either purchase the movie for $12.99 or you can rent it for like $3.99. So check it out. And yeah, this is something, especially with all these drones happening. I'm wondering, because there was a rumor, something that came out where people were saying December 3rd and December 13th were like some key days. And I think it's kind of like within this time frame that these drones have been showing themselves. And maybe this is part of, since our government isn't giving us disclosure, perhaps the ETs have said enough. We're just going to disclose ourselves to you directly. So we're in interesting times, like I've said, but there's nothing to fear. Don't be in a state of fear. Be in a state of love, be in a state of joy, be in a state of knowing that everything works out for us. And if we stay in that higher vibration, we will create the better scenario. If we go into fear and start going into the craziness of the drama, we're not going to create what we want in our world. So let us, think about that. All right. So it's time for the Oracle of the Month. And the Oracle of the Month that we are working with this month of December are the Angelic Activations Oracle. Oh, I forgot to add my camera, which is done by Kyle Gray. So let me pull up. Here we go. My camera with the cards so you can see them better. And where is it? Camera, there you are. So let us do it like this. So this is, and that's weird. Why is it? I don't know what I did. But for some reason, this is backwards. And it hasn't been like that before. So that is weird. Talk about Mercury retrograde, right? All right. So these are the Angel Activations Oracle by, gosh, and you can't even read the words there. That is crazy. What did I do? Well, it's probably something in the settings, but I'm not going to mess with it right now because for time's sake. So anyway, let me show you some of the images of the cards. So the cards have beautiful images on the front of different kinds of angels and beings. And then on the back of the card is the information. Of course, now it's backwards. So like this is a Mercury retrograde example of like how things happen. But that's okay because I can read it to you. So anyway, I'm going to just show you some of the cards as I'm going to read on the box. Yeah, it's backwards there too. So it's something in my settings that I guess I'm mirroring. I wonder, layouts, audio, camera. Ah, there we go. Mirror my camera. There we go. I think I fixed it. Did I fix it? Yes. Okay. Yay. So easy fix. All right. So in the box, I really love how Hay House is starting to put these different messages in the box. So this is the bottom part of the box, and it says, "Angels on my left, angels on my right. I am protected by love. I am guided by light." So that's a great affirmation to say anytime with the angels. And then he also has this um, kind of invocation when you first start, working with the cards. And so let's say it. I activate my angelic connection. Thank you, angels, for revealing to me what I need to know. I am willing to listen. So as we see that, of course, there's a little booklet that comes with it. So let's pull a card for us. And usually I ask, what do we need to know right now? Just kind of generally. But I'm really curious about these drones over New Jersey and New York and all these other places that we're seeing. And I'd like to ask Spirit for, what do we need to know about these drones? What is it that we need to know? Just a message about that. So, and the card that I've got is this one. And here's the message: principalities. Interesting. Okay, so principalities, spiritual study is essential. You are on a path of great learning. You have already gained so much understanding from your spiritual encounters and experiences. But in order to become the teacher you were born to be, more study is required. Take the time to dive into spiritual books and text. Study them carefully, for they are here to help you understand fully some of the processes you have experienced naturally. The activation is, I am willing to learn in order to teach. Now I'm going to go to the booklet, because the booklet has a little bit more information than what's on the card. So let me read this to you. The principalities, whose name means rulers, are the angelic protectors of spirituality and spiritual text. They provide us with strength when things get tough. They have a strong connection with world leaders and with activists, particularly those who want to make truly compassionate changes to our planet. On a personal level, they encourage our inner leader. Support our inner strength, and inspire us to find peace. These angels are an incredible support for those who want to enter spiritual study, and will guide us to the sacred halls of learning in the inner worlds of heaven. Extra guidance. By carving out time and energy to do spiritual study, you make a clear declaration to the universe that you are ready to be taken to the next level. If you have felt overwhelmed, uh, uh, if you have felt overwhelmed by some of your past experiences, it's essential for you to do some digging. Um, to do some digging now in order to have greater understanding of your experiences and some of the wounds you have healed. When you get so far on the spiritual path, you often go through challenging processes that are ultimately initiations that will take you to the next step. Trust in the process. Again, the activation is, I'm willing to learn in order to teach. So that's interesting, because she talks about, or he talks about, Kyle Gray, the creator of this deck, um, about spiritual activism, which we were just talking about. And, our inner leader, uh, our inner strength, and finding peace. So it doesn't totally answer the question of, what do we need to know about these drones? Um, but I would say, yeah, more study is necessary. Um, principalities. That's so interesting. They mean rulers. So I'm not quite sure. Put it in the comments what you think, if this card, what it represents to you in asking the question about these drones that are flying over our skies that we don't know what they are. Yeah, so that is the card for the day, principalities. And very interesting. So thank you, angels, for that message from the angels. And if you like this card, not this card, but this card deck, or if you, you know, like any of the oracles or books or anything that I talk about, you can shop my Amazon store, and you just get to that by going to good-vibes.tv, and you will be able to see it there. All right, so we are winding down. I did want to talk a little bit again. Let's see if this will show about Bluesky. So I'm off Twitter, and I'm finding that Bluesky is the alternative, an alternative to Twitter. So if you are also moving from Twitter to Bluesky, although I have to admit I haven't posted anything yet, I'm just beginning to start. I created my account. I have my goodvibestv.bluesky.social. Uh, what do they call that? Vanity handle, so that you can find me there. And then as I get more followers and stuff, I'll start using it. I haven't been putting much stuff out on social media besides these live streams. But I wanted to let you know that I'm on Blue Sky now, and I invite you to reach out to me so that we can be connected on that platform. So let's move over to the tip of the week. And last week's tip of the week was to hug a tree. And, hugging a tree, I was suggesting, when it's super cold out, don't necessarily want to be barefoot on the ground, but another way to ground yourself is to hug a tree. You could do that with a coat on. So hugging a tree helps you ground and, again, get from this crazy air energy down to earth and, grounded. I don't know. I want to explain it a different way, but when you're grounding something, you're kind of like manifesting it. You're grounding it. You're making it like secure on the earth. So anyway, hug a tree. That was last week's tip, and this week's tip is to do the 12-12 portal ritual or meditation anywhere from today to the full moon. Say you have that time to do it, and it'll prepare you for next year. So that is my suggestion of tip of the week to raise your vibration. And again, I'll give you the link to that meditation and ritual. tinyurl.com/capital GVTV 1212 meditation. Okay, my friends. Well, that'll do it for today. I do want to encourage you to raise your vibe so you can thrive. This is my motto for Good Vibes TV. And, I'm asking you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm growing that. I have 160 subscribers so far. So it is growing, but it's growing slowly. So I just would like to ask you to just go to good-vibes.tv. You'll find my YouTube channel and go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to watch YouTube. And this will really be a way of saying thank you if you want to say thank you to me, or a way to support me in the channel. It just really helps to get the word out there. And so I thank you for that. So that's all I have for you. I want to wish you a beautiful 12/12 portal, a happy full moon on Sunday, a happy Mercury direct on Sunday, and I will see you next week on Thursday. I'm actually relocating on Sunday. We're leaving and heading to Florida, and we'll be there for about 3.5 months. So I will see you next week, and I want to thank you for watching. I don't see any comments this time, but thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and I wish you all the best during this 12/12 portal and this full moon in Gemini. So blessings to all, and look up because things are coming. So take care, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See you next week.